I truly believe when you're with the wrong person, you're too busy trying to make them fit for you, trying to change them, trying to change their personality, change their character, change their charisma, change so much about them for them to fit you that you have no time to work on yourself, right? Versus when you're with the right person, they're not necessarily perfect, but they position you in a way where you're not worried on fixing them. You're worried about improving yourself so you can be better for them. I don't know who needs that today, but I truly have been in both places, and I can tell you, you don't want to be in the position where you're trying to force a person to be right for you just because you like them, just because you love them. You're trying to force that person to be right for you versus being with the right person and positioning yourself in a way where you're trying to improve to be better for them.
Now, while I think that this is a really dope perspective, in my opinion, there are a few key points missing. Now, for starters, compatibility is more like point of view and perspective, belief system, that kind of thing. When you're choosing a partner, compatibility is important when you're talking about the foundation. Again, like views, religion, how you may want to raise children, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, that kind of thing, you know. But unfortunately, how we view the word compatibility and what that means in relationships has been, in a sense, misconstrued. Most people think that compatibility is about the same favorite color, you like to do the same thing, what's your favorite genre of music, and we tend to get caught up in those kind of things thinking that if they're not the same, it's impossible to get along and forge a long-term relationship, when in reality compatibility is more focused on the baseline, the core values of the other person. And once you have established you guys have similar core values, you're officially compatible. But now it gets into acceptance. Now, the phenomena that he's describing is about changing your partner, like changing their character. And that, in my opinion, has less to do with compatibility and more to do with lack of acceptance. Because compatibility has become such a broad and spectrum that we typically believe that our partner has to do everything, say and do everything in alignment with what we think that they should, when in reality, they have the right to their autonomy, their character, their identity, their individuality. And because that's not often communicated, your average person tends to go into a relationship with the conditioning of thinking that their job is to change the person that they're with. When in reality, once you have chose them, your assignment is to practice acceptance. Core values are what you're looking for as far as compatibility. Like, do we have the same religion? Do we both look at the same types of parenting skills? Like, the way we want to structure a home, is that the same? How we navigate our roles in relationships, is that the same? And then from there, the individuality based on or comparing you to your partner does not have to be in alignment and identical down the line. You may be an introvert, they may be an extrovert. You may like to read books, they may prefer to watch movies. Now, it may create a situation where you have to actually put it into, put it to more thought and more practice to compromise doing things with each other because of being two different individuals in that way. But that doesn't imply a lack of compatibility. It just implies that two people need to build an understanding and acceptance of one another, that your person that you chose is not supposed to be your twin. It's There's a reason why they say opposites attract. It's because your partner is actually supposed to bring to the relationship the things that you are not. That's why compatibility is so different from just the individuality of a human being. Compatibility is so your core values are in alignment. You want to make sure that you guys, have the same spiritual system as far as being spiritual or being religious. You want to make sure that your foundation is identical. So when you decide to create children, they're sitting on a solid foundation. But aside from that, it's okay for one person to be more artsy and the other person to be more science, or one person to be, be into outside activities while the other one is into inside activities. That does not shape whether or not your relationship will last unless you have the perspective that you are supposed to change your partner, that your partner is supposed to be more in alignment with the things that you prefer, the things that you like. And at that point, it's not about compatibility, it's about control and lack of acceptance. And we have to make sure that we can differentiate between the two, because compatibility is a good thing. But again, it's just the foundation. You then build on top of the foundation, and it's a good thing to have a partner that is not identical to you, so you can have a lifestyle that essentially kind of shakes things up. If you're a person that's serious in all business, it's actually beneficial to you that you would be paired with somebody that's somewhat of a goofball, because without that person adding that element to your life, you wouldn't really know how to have fun and get out and have a life. You will be all business. And the same is true in reverse. If you're the person that's a class clown and you're always essentially not taking things seriously, your partner will be the one to tell you when it's time to knuckle down and get down to business. Both of those elements are required. If you are a person that's an introvert and you don't really like to get out much, you will likely be paired with somebody who likes to get out of the house, because it's also true that even though your character says that you like to be inside and you're totally cool with it, it's good to get out of the house and live a little. And you may not be encouraged to do so if your partner is not bringing that element to your life. The same is true on the opposite end. A person may rip and run and always go, go, go and get out and enjoy life to the fullest. But a partner that's more of an introvert will introduce to your life that it's okay to enjoy not getting out so much, and that there's fun to be had and intimacy to be had in close quarters, watching a movie and having a few snacks. These things add dimension to your character. And when you don't understand that truth, you will loathe the fact that you have a partner that's so different from you. You will look at it as something that is something that represents incompatibility. You will look at it as something that you're required to change. You will assume that this guarantees you do not have a long and healthy life to live with this person, because you are under the misconception that compatibility has to do with everything under the sun that is you looking like everything under the sun that is them, when that is not true. It's the core values and foundation of the relationship. Everything else is about your ability to accept and appreciate the differences and similarities within your partner. And your ability to do so heavily weighs on the ability for this relationship to be harmonious and last for a lifetime. So let's not get the two confused, because getting those two things confused may influence you to try and change the character to your partner instead of understanding it and allowing it to flourish. Peace.